Should competitive dance be considered an actual sport? Here to answer that intriguing question is Brody Massey, a local choreographer. Brody, nice to see you this morning, and thanks for joining us on the Two Man Advantage podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I understand that you just got hired by a company over this age called Intrigue, and you get the chance to work with some national choreographers and sort of bring your love to dance to a wide variety of people. Isn't that right?
That's true. I'm really excited about the opportunity. So Intrigue is a dance convention and competition, and they tour all around the states, different parts of America, and they bring these master classes and lots of teachers with amazing experience to come and teach kids of all levels, master classes in lots of different styles, and also dance competitions. They adjudicate them and they hand out scholarships. It's a really great opportunity. I'm really excited.
And tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know you've been involved in dance for a while, and that you're excited about the way your career has sort of spun off from being a local choreographer.
Yeah, so I've been teaching dance for a long time. I did competitive dance when I was younger. I grew up in Windsor. And I danced at a local studio called Nancy Pattison's Dance Studio, and then my family moved to London, and so I danced there, and then when I was 19 I danced on a cruise ship, and that was kind of like my first professional job. And after that I joined a few dance companies in Toronto, and I started really getting into teaching and choreographing, and so I work at a studio in London called Joe Reed Dance. And with that studio, I've been there now, this is my 11th season, and my work started to get noticed in Canada, and I was at a competition with the kids from Joe Reed's, and there were American judges there, and so that's how my work kind of got noticed in the States. The American judges saw my work and they thought, okay, this is something that I think this company Intrigue would be interested in. So we got to go to that American competition, and they were really happy with my work, and so from there we've kind of developed this relationship. And then when I'm there, I'm really lucky. I get to make a lot of contacts and meet a lot of different people, and it's really inspiring for me. The more people I work with, the better it makes me.
So I understand that you have some strong opinions about how dance may be a way for kids to get active and stay involved from an athletic standpoint. So can you expand on that for me?
Yeah, I think that dance, it's a beautiful activity. It's very athletic. Some people have different opinions whether it's considered a sport or not. I say it's definitely athletic, but it is an art form, more so than a sport. And I feel like it's something really great for kids to be involved in, because it teaches you discipline, commitment, time management at a very early age. You have to be highly committed. You put your body through a lot of physical tasks all the time. You ask a lot of yourself, and like both mentally and physically. And I think it creates a great atmosphere. You get a lot of support. You're a part of a team, and you learn to demand a lot from yourself at an early age. And I think it's something that, someone as young as 3 to as to any age can really learn from.
And how do you think we can get kids more involved and excited about the field of dancing?
I think that's a good question. I know that some schools, like elementary schools, are starting to add dance programs into gym, and I think it's a great way for them to kind of work out with them, not even really realizing that they're working out, because there's music and it's fun, and they're not really realizing that it's all cardio basically. So I think doing it at an early age and making it clear that like it's something that both boys and girls can do. It's not just a girl activity, it's a boy activity too. And starting at an early age, but I do know that some schools are incorporating it into their gym classes, and I think that's a great way to introduce it.
Now, why do you think dancers should be considered athletes, but why do you also feel that dancing isn't a sport?
Okay, so I think that they're athletes because, we train hard like an athlete. Like I said, it requires a lot physically. There's a lot of discipline that goes along with it. But I feel like more so a sport, when you judge a sport, it's like, okay, I don't know a lot of sports, but if the ball goes in the basket, then it's like worth this many points. Or if like this goal is scored, it's worth this many points.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Dance doesn't have that. Dance, when you judge a dance, it's mainly based off of opinion. Like it's an artistic opinion. So like you and I could watch a dance, and I could love it, and you could hate it, and neither of us are right necessarily, because it's our opinion, because it's art. Does that make sense?
It does. And I just want to go back to something you said earlier, that dance isn't necessarily exclusive for females. So
Right.
how do you think we can get the male population more interested in dance?
Right. I think that there can be stereotypes that, dance is maybe, only girly or it's really feminine, but that's not true. That I think introducing boys into hip hop is a great way to start having, boys be interested in dance, and then maybe from there they get the confidence to do other styles of dance. Having been able to be in different parts of the States, for example, in Miami, they do ballroom dancing, and they start at a very young age, boys and girls. So it's just a part of their culture. It's not looked at as anything feminine or masculine. It's just like it's an activity, it's an athletic thing, it's an artistic thing, and so they have amazing, incredible dancers, and it's really celebrated in their community. It's like a part of their culture, and I think if there was a little bit more of that here, more kids would have the confidence to join dance.
Now, I know for you, in particular, you started using social media like Skype and other forms of social media to teach dance. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of an interesting opportunity. So there's a studio in Australia that kind of caught wind of my work, and so they are interested in having me in, and I'm not able to be there until our summer. So they're having me send videos of my choreography so they can use it, and then I'm going to have Skype sessions with them and then teach over Skype, which is kind of like a really interesting new way of doing it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it's like. I've never taught and not been in the room teaching, but I'm really open-minded to see what it's like, and I think it'll be a great start, and I'm excited to start that relationship because I've never been there before, and they seem really, really eager. They seem really interested, so I think it's a great opportunity for people that are really interested that maybe, I can't be there, but I can still make my impact a little bit anyways.
Now, do you think social media can be used as a platform to engage more people to get excited about dance?
I think so, and I hope so. Like, I think, especially with young kids to high school kids, like things like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, like that's some of the most important things that they have, they use to vocalize their thoughts and their feelings, and I see a lot of dance being posted on there, and I think it reaches a larger amount of people than, if I'm just putting up a poster. Even like any type of social media, really, it reaches a larger mass.
And I understand you also take your gift of dance to help people in the mental health sector as well. So can you tell me a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, so there's this really great company called Mind Your Mind in London, Ontario, and they are an activist for the well-being of mental health for youth, and they're big participants in the International Youth Day event, and it's every year, and so it's just exploring the thought of having dance as almost like dance therapy, a way of kind of expressing yourself and getting out those emotions that maybe are hard to express with words, and it's a really special program to be a part of.
Now, as we all know, keeping kids active is a very important thing in terms of keeping them out of the TV and keeping them active for at least 60 minutes a day. So can you tell me how you think dance can be used as a vehicle in order to do that?
Right. Well, kind of what I was saying earlier about like bringing dance into schools and stuff like that. Like when kids are dancing, you know, if you put on music, they don't really realize like time goes by fast, especially if it's a song they enjoy. And it's honestly cardio the entire time. They're jumping around, they're doing like lots of physical steps, and it's fun. It's lighthearted, it's fun, and so you don't even really realize that you're being so physically active. And then the kids that really enjoy it, they can take it a step further, like competitive kids that dance, 3, 4, 5 days a week, and they are taking class every single day, like during those days, and they are doing all different kinds of dance, so that kind of requires a lot from their body. And I think it's a great way for kids to be active and have fun, and it has a nice social setting too. I think there's a lot of different aspects that are positive.
And my final question for you has to do with getting people ultra excited about dance. So if you had a message out to the public about the benefits or the impact of dance, what would that be?
I would say that dance is a way to express yourself. You can be truly who you are, who you want to be. There's no limitations. Like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong. I think that it's something that is maybe underestimated for how impactful it really can be. That you're not only physically training, you're also getting some type of like relief emotionally and mentally, and there's a beautiful community there, full of support. And I think I feel really, really lucky that I joined at a young age, because it's something that I'm completely passionate about, and I'm really lucky that I get to do my job is something that I truly love and what I've always pictured doing.
Brody, thanks for a couple of minutes and for sharing your passion of dance with us on the Two Man Advantage podcast.
Thank you so much.